My brain thinks in analogies. I couldn't tell you why it does that or when it started doing that, but all I know is that I think that way because it makes the things in life, mainly the sticky, gross, and not fun things in life, just make more sense. It's a coping mechanism. Analogies are meant to be fun and lighthearted, easy to swallow, to take down. So it makes trauma in all of its forms, mental, physical, emotional, it just makes the trauma settle a lot easier in my head. I like to think that trauma, specifically my own trauma, and maybe you might be able to relate to it, but I like to think of trauma like a sticky note. A little 3x3 thin sheet of paper with a piece of sticky adhesive on the back. The reason that I think this is because sticky notes are customizable, you know? They can have really anything written on them, and they are only meant for a specific person, you know? Whether it be a task, a reminder, a burden, an incident, a saying, it is only pertinent to the person it's written for. And along with that, a sticky note can be put on really anything. It could be put on your table, a fridge, your mirror, yourself if you try hard enough, you know? If you can find a way to stick it, you can find a way to torment the mind. Going along with those qualities, sticky notes are a lot like trauma and abuse because at first, it's very minimal at first. It can go almost unrecognizable, or at the very least unsuspecting that something's wrong, that something is going on that should not be going on. You know, at first it starts off with one sticky note and you think, oh, it's just the one, I'll take care of it later. It's not a big deal, it doesn't hinder my day, let alone my livelihood. But you know, soon enough, one sticky note becomes 2, and then 3, 4, and then it moves on to daily things, and it goes on to 10, 20, 50, 100, and then the next thing you know, you have 100,000 sticky notes just lying around, untouched, unmoved. They're just there, taking up space. I know a thin 3x3 sheet of paper with a thin strip of sticky adhesive on the back. It does not seem like a lot at first. But 1,000 pounds worth of sticky notes, that's still 1,000 pounds. That's 1,000 pounds of trauma that we can equate to. They just rack up over time. They just accumulate so fast, it seems. And you didn't even notice it until your whole place is filled with sticky notes. Your whole relationship is built off of paper cuts. That is a lot of fucking paper. But I guess the good thing, at least for me, about equating sticky notes to trauma, mental, physical, emotional, romantic, is that you can do a lot of things with sticky notes. You can repurpose them for your own use. You can take those sticky notes and you can tear them up into a bunch of tiny little pieces, and you can throw them around your room like confetti and celebrate your newfound freedom and strength and courage. You can take a sticky note and you can write a letter to a friend that you've missed very dearly in your absence. Tell them how much you love them and adore them. You could devote time to things that you really liked, like arts and crafts. So you could make origami or a cute little fortune teller, getting back into hobbies that you really, really enjoyed before it all. You could do something a little more destructive. You could light those sticky notes on fire, have a little bonfire with yourself. Maybe invite some friends over, roast some s'mores or something. Or you can go the really direct route. You can gather up all those sticky notes, those reminders, items in your closet, and just throw them away in the trash. Something I should have done a really long time ago. Or you can take all those sticky notes and use them as inspiration for a creative outlet, like a new YouTube video. I will say though that trauma is a bit more sticky than a sticky note. But it is nice to know that when you are ready to take it down, that you can. You have every power and right to handle your trauma in a healthy and constructive way that is best suited for you. So I guess it really isn't all in vain, those sticky notes and the trauma, because at least for me, and hopefully for you, we can find a new and constructive way to turn it around to work for us. But sticky notes are mass-produced, so there will always be a stack lying around waiting to haunt me, to torment me, to remind me of the suffering. But when that does come, at least now I have some ways to handle it, to defeat it. Because I'll be damned if I let a thin 3x3 sheet of paper with a sticky adhesive on the back tear me down. I'm far too good for that. Everyone handles trauma very differently. I just use it to channel my creative outlets in hopes that it'll get me in places that I want, what I deserve. So I guess what I'm trying to say, when it's all said and done, is thanks for the sticky notes, asshole. I hope it gives you a paper cut.